Hey, what's up, everybody? You know, I would have done this a couple days ago, but I just haven't had the time. I just didn't think about doing it until now. And probably it's more appropriate that I do it now anyway, seeing as though we are about 2 days, 48 hours away, if you will, whatever, from Super Bowl 45 in Dallas, Texas, or Arlington, Texas, or whatever you want to call it. And this, according to many, is going to probably be one of the more classic Super Bowl games, more of the high-octane Super Bowl games that we've ever had, and one of the more anticipated ones. Now, both the legendary franchises. Now, Green Bay, I believe, is going to be going for the fourth championship, I believe. I'm not really sure. I think it's the fourth championship. I could be wrong. Now, fourth Super Bowl championship anyway. Now, Pittsburgh is going to be going for number 7. Now, why is this important? Well, on one hand, if Green Bay wins on Sunday, that'll be the fourth Super Bowl, which means they'll be acknowledged as one of the elite teams again. I mean, if you think about it, Green Bay hasn't been to the Super Bowl since they lost to Denver when John Elway was still playing, as far as I know. So, for them to go back to the Super Bowl and possibly win it is going to say something. Basically saying that they are back among the elite. And that Green Bay, which was once known as Title Town, will have that name reinserted once again as the place where championships are won. Now, Pittsburgh, on the other hand, has a chance to make history. See, Pittsburgh has a chance to become what I consider, and I'm pretty sure many may agree or may not agree, but I'm pretty sure some would, become what is known as the standard bearer of the NFL. Now, what does that mean? Well, if you take a look at some other sports, there are other teams out there that are looked up as standard bearers. You take a look at Major League Baseball. There you have the New York Yankees. The Yankees are looked at as the standard bearer in baseball. Now, yes, San Francisco Giants won last year. That makes them the team to dominate, the team to beat this year. But the team that you want to be, the team that you want to surpass and become the standard over, or take the title of being the standard, that team is the Yankees. Everybody knows that. Despite how you feel about them, they are the standard bearer in baseball because everybody wants to be like them. There are players on every Major League Baseball team, players in high school and college baseball, Little League. They all want to be part of the New York Yankees someday. That's what they want. And some teams, like say Oakland and San Francisco, where I'm from, they want to surpass New York and become the standard. They want to take the title of being the standard in baseball, and they want to make it their own. They want to take it and make New York have to look up to them as the standard. And that's exactly the opportunity Pittsburgh has this year. They want to be looked at as the standard. Now, yes, they got 6 titles, 6 Super Bowl championships in the franchise history. But for them to win number 7, that would mean that every team's going to look at them as if they're the Yankees of the NFL. You want to look at it another way? Let's take a look at it from the basketball perspective. Let's take a look at the Lakers and the Celtics. And I'm sorry if I paused there for a little bit. Sorry about that. But let's take a look at the Lakers and the Celtics. They got multiple championships. I'm not sure how many Boston has, but I'm pretty sure the Lakers have tons. And they have just enough championships, if you will, that people want to look up to them as the standards. And just like in baseball, and just like in football, and just like in baseball and in football, there's a lot of players in junior high, high school, college, even the NBA itself, that all want to be part of these teams. They all want to They all want, in one time in their career, to say, hey, I was playing for this team. They want to be part of that standard-bearing legacy. They want that. And also, there are teams, like I said, just like in baseball, that want to surpass the Lakers. They want to surpass the Celtics, and they want the Lakers and the Celtics to look at them as the standard bearers. That's what they want. And you know, if you want to look at it from another perspective, look at it from professional wrestling. There's lots of guys that have won multiple world titles, and they are looked at as the standard bearers. On a national and worldwide level, the guy, despite the fact that I'm a Hulk Hogan fan, or a Hulkamaniac fan, the guy, though, that everybody wants to surpass as and become the standard bearer, the guy that is the standard bearer right now, despite how you feel about him, is Ric Flair. Ric Flair is a 16-time plus world champion. That's what he is. A 16-time plus world champion. And everybody wants to be in his position. Everybody. Every superstar, every wrestler right now, even a female wrestler. Well, I'll get into the female in a little bit. But every wrestler wants to surpass him as the standard bearer. Guys that are close to surpassing him are Triple H is one, Kurt Angle is another, and Hulk Hogan. Now, Kurt Angle and Triple H may have a legitimate shot to probably doing it, maybe not. Hulk Hogan probably never will. But the thing is, those that have that legitimate shot are saying to themselves, we want to be the standard bearer. We want to surpass Ric Flair and become the standard bearer when it comes to being multiple-time world champions. That's what they want. And anybody that's in the business right now, any of the young guys that's in the business right now, guys like a Miz, guys like a Cena, guys like a Randy Orton, guys like an Edge, if you will. They all have legitimate shots as well. Miz, he's in his first title reign. He's got a long ways to go. Sheamus, the same way. He only had 2 title reigns. He's got a long ways to go. But they're at a time in their career. They are at a time in their career that they become world champions. And once again, they have a lot of time on their hands to where they could surpass the likes of a Ric Flair and become the standard. Same with John Cena. Yeah, despite how you feel about the guy, he has a chance at surpassing Ric Flair. Same with Edge. Okay, same with Randy. They all have that opportunity. But the thing is, until that happens, Ric Flair is looked at as the standard bearer of professional wrestling. The guy everybody wants to be. You get what I'm saying? And if you want to look at it at a national level, where you include not just the major promotions, well, a guy's been a world champion, but even the independent and smaller promotions, then you take a look at a guy like Jerry Lawler. And he, on the independent, national, territorial regions, he's the standard bearer when it comes to those areas, and people in those areas want to surpass him in those categories. So on a worldwide level, Ric Flair is the guy you want to surpass. On a national, more territorial level, Jerry Lawler is the guy you want to surpass. You get what I'm saying? And if you want to take a look at it from a non-title perspective, take a look at The Undertaker. He's 18-0 at WrestleMania. And there's a lot of young men, even women, if you will, in professional wrestling, that not only is their one goal to someday be a part of WrestleMania, if not headline it, but their one goal, if they're not wrestling for a championship, is to surpass The Undertaker when it comes to being undefeated at WrestleMania. That's their goal, because The Undertaker is the standard bearer of WrestleMania. That's what he is, and there's a lot of young men and women that want to surpass that goal. And then you want to talk about female wrestlers? There is a lot of women that, even though they know it's probably an impossible dream, they want to surpass the great Fabulous Moolah as one of the longest reigning champions in any women's division in history. That's what they want. Doesn't matter if you're a TNA, Ring of Honor, Shimmer, WWE. The one thing you want to do is say, hey, I held on to my championship a lot longer than Moolah did. Even if it means the woman's going to walk out all decrepit like, kind of deal. They want that standard. They want to achieve that standard. And if not that, they take a look at the likes of a Trish Stratus, who was a 7-time women's champion, and knowing that she's the standard bearer in the WWE women's division right now, even though she's retired. There's a lot of women out there right now as we speak, whether they're currently in WWE, or if they're in TNA, or if they're in Ring of Honor / Shimmer, these women all want to surpass Trish Stratus and become the standard bearer in women's wrestling. That's what they want. So, for Pittsburgh, for them, winning number 7 in the Super Bowl this year would mean they would become the standard bearer. They would become the Ric Flair. They would become the Undertaker. They would become the Jerry Lawler. They would become the Yankees. They would become the New York Yankees. They would become the Boston Celtics. They would become the LA Lakers of the NFL. That's what they would become. Alright? I mean, for years, I think before Titanic came around, Gone with the Wind was the most was the highest grossing film in history, right? Until I think, Titanic came along, and it became the standard bearer. And now Avatar's come along, and it's become the standard bearer. That's the thing people want. And if Pittsburgh wins this Sunday, they become the standard bearer. They become exactly everything that I talked about. But you know what? They're not going to win. Because my prediction for this Sunday is Green Bay. Green Bay is on a hot streak. They got momentum. They want it more. They haven't been there since about, 98, I believe. They want it. They want it more than anything. And Aaron Rodgers, most of all, wants to do what Steve Young did, and that's get out of the shadow, finally, of Brett Favre, just like Steve Young did by getting out of the shadow of Joe Montana. That's what they wanted. That's why I'm picking Green Bay. I am picking Green Bay to win because they want it more. They haven't been there in a long time, in almost 14 years. They want it more, and that's about it. That's what it is. They want it more. So they want it more. They got momentum. They're on a hot streak. Aaron Rodgers wants to get out of the shadow of Brett Favre, and that's why I'm predicting them to win this Sunday at Super Bowl 45. And that's my prediction. Tell me what you guys think. Tell me if you agree with anything I said here, and I'll talk to you all later.